light switch.
Ready, Amy?
I've been ready.
Oh, have you? Okay. Bring the meeting to order. All stand and say the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll wait till she gets here. Correct?
I just have a couple things, and then I gotta get to the tabletop that we're doing in school.
Okay, that's fine.
Come on up then.
Me and her have been in communication, so we're in Connect today, and then there's a couple other days this week. She's in limbo with the other position. And then we'll look at next week and the following week, see how much time we need to work together to get her acclimated.
All right.
Okay, good.
The first one I got, so one of my dispatchers, one of their relatives was involved in an unfortunate accident. She was the call taker and ended up being a fatality. So I'm requesting that she have an extra 4 days leave. The handbook only allows for 3. She took 7 for her family and a funeral.
Okay. Okay, so you want an additional 3 days over the handbook?
4.
Or four, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what we did for the other, I think we did that one other time, didn't we, for the
Yes,
other?
sir. Yep.
So do we need to make a motion we need to vote on that or just give approval?
You'll have to vote on it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, do you have a
I'll make
motion?
motion.
Motion made, second. All those in favor say aye.
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 The other one
Motion
says
carried.
That is a service contract for the UPS that's down in dispatch for dispatch and EMA. I've looked through the files down there. I can't find what we did previously. There's 3 options on there. One's service twice a year. One of them is service once a year, and they have different price ranges.
Do you need that decision today?
No, whatever. I think we're good to the end of the month on the current one. So whatever, I'm sure Craig will know better than me about that system and what you guys have done in the past. No? Okay, never mind.
So,
What is this with?
A service contract for the uninterrupted power supply down dispatch.
we kind of need that, right?
Is it, Craig, you said this is not anything you're,
I was not involved in it, so I couldn't tell you anything about it.
does this go through, is this something our new maintenance guy down there, he might be acclimated with this a little bit? Maybe he would know a little bit about it.
Probably not.
He's not involved with it at all? Okay.
That's another thing that never was discussed, if he's over the whole building down there, because maintenance has always took care of dispatch and EMA.
Yeah.
He was maintenance for down there, just took care of the jail and the sheriff's office part.
That's kind of what I was envisioning, was he would take care of everything down there at that building.
And that was something that might need to be discussed.
Okay, all right. I mean, this is something I feel like we definitely need. So, I mean, I think the annual plan, we should just go ahead and do the annual plan.
Okay.
That's what you think or not?
So the annual here is one payment of $1,036 even?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept this quote
I'll make a motion.
of $1,036? A second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
There's a signature on the back page, or unless you want to wait for.
Can I see that for just a second? I'm sure.
And just, which one do you want? The annual rate.
Yeah, the annual.
You could, I'll just type this up. Oh, I thought they were coming up.
Have
Yeah.
You got
Will,
anything?
do you want to introduce?
You can come on up. I mean,
I'm like, I thought we were staying up here. That's why I was like.
It's early. All right. This is Kyla Dell.
Good morning.
She is taking over my position at the communications as the 911 director.
so just so you know, all these meetings are recorded.
Okay.
So you're on YouTube right now.
Perfect.
So-
All
All
right.
right, I mean, this is Kyla Dale, we've interviewed her, we was gonna, bring it to the, commissioners to vote on hiring her for the
Yeah.
911 position.
Yeah, we need,
So, I'll make a motion to hire Kyla Dale.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye,
Aye. Motion
All right.
carried.
thank you.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
Welcome to the team.
They made me do speeches and
I
introductions.
honestly, I'm just really excited to be in this position. I've worked in 911 for going on almost 6 years, so I'm ready to get back to Ripley County, which is where I'm from, and get started. So I'm pretty excited about it.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Craig.
Morning. First thing I'll bring up is ordered another stack of 14 chairs for the courthouse. The cost on that was $912, and they'll be delivered 3 to 4 weeks.
That should be the last bunch we need, right?
That should cover everything on the 3rd floor and child support's little section on the 1st floor.
What was that amount again?
912.
912, okay. Okay. Do we need to find out where we're going to pay for these, correct?
Do you know what fund we paid for the last ones out of?
Yeah, I just paid them out of property of
Yeah,
training.
so we'll do the same thing, yeah, the same place.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion's been made for $912 for the 14 chairs. I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Also, I'm going to re-bring up the Mid-America Industrial for the railing needed at the courthouse. The cost on that is $1,200. Might have been some confusion on the first if I said it wrong, so I just wanted to bring that back up.
Okay. I'd say that's a pretty decent price
Yeah,
on
I think
that.
that's a fair price.
Mid-America or Mid-American?
Mid-America Industrial.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion for $1,200 to install and build the railing to the
I'll-
courthouse?
I'll make a motion.
Motion's made. I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Last thing I have for you is a quote from Dunlap to replace our HIPAA filters. The total on that is $1,998.40. That's where we're getting that little bit of vibration from up there when we was up there last. You asked about that?
Yeah.
It came up on their schedule to, you replace them so many years. And it came up on their schedule as needing to be replaced this
So
year.
those were new when they put all the units in and they're already needing?
This is the annex building.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Sorry. Yeah,
that's my
okay,
fault.
All right. So, yeah, I'll make a motion to get,
To change out the filters. Motion made. I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Do we need, is that just out of maintenance fund?
Yeah.
Okay.
Building.
on the blinds/window shades, do they have caps for the end of those?
I'm waiting on a response from them.
Okay.
And they're also waiting on 3 more blinds.
Okay.
They said a box kind of,
I think they need, I mean, they appear to me like they need something on the ends of them. I'm not sure
yeah.
what it is.
They're aware. They're
Okay.
supposed to be getting back with me, so I'm just waiting on a response.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
That's all I have for you.
All
Thank you,
right,
Craig.
Thank you.
Okay. Sheriff Department.
Good afternoon, or morning.
Good morning.
Got a couple things for you guys today. The first one is we have a list of items that we would like to put up for auction. Pass this up so you guys can take a look at it. On these items here, we would like to start off on the county auction, and whatever doesn't sell there, if possible, move it over to Vestal to,
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't think we don't have enough to move it over to Rob. We would just put them on the county website.
Okay.
And put them out just for anybody that wants to bid for the time frame. And then honestly, if nobody bids on them, over the next few weeks, we'll probably just discard it.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, we just need to get a hold of Becky.
Yeah,
Becky
send it
Get a hold of Becky.
usually puts that in there.
Okay, perfect, that I can definitely do.
I don't know if Craig, you got some chairs and stuff to get rid of as well, or?
We got pictures and we'll get them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just coordinate with Craig as well. That way we can put all of it on there at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
And then, on the next one. This one here is for the drop ceiling, which you have a copy. And then this one here is the sidewalk. During the walkthrough of the jail last meeting, we mentioned replacing the drop ceiling and the floor from all the water damage and everything. The drop ceiling, we can be able to do it ourselves there at the jail, so that's just a material cost. And then on the flooring, is the same thing, it's material cost on it.
Okay. Art should be taking care of this for the
That's
leaking
what I
roof.
say, is it because of the roof leaking?
That was prior to all that, so it's where it's sagging down, it caused the track to start hanging. I don't know if it's part of how that's going to be covered on that.
I think we need to bring that up to Art's
Yeah, well,
attention
Brent,
first.
honestly, I would like to wait till the roof's all complete.
Absolutely.
Nothing's leaking, and then we can start addressing some of the issues, but if there's any of that, I mean.
That damage is prior to.
Prior to, yeah.
Yeah, prior to any of the leaks from this.
Yeah.
Repair and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem doing it, but we would like to just wait until they get the roof done, and then we can figure out what all needs to be done, and,
Yeah.
just basically table it for now, if that's all right.
So, if I may, the timeline for this, because it's the booking area and we got that new machine coming in there, the machine's being held off until we get all this stuff done too. So we're trying to time it, like as soon as they get the roof done, get that stuff done, then that way we can move the equipment in there.
So do you know what timing is on that? I mean,
I'm hoping to find out from Art today, like what the timeline is. I don't think it'd be much longer because they've been out there for 2 weeks now.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have any ceiling tiles already to
No, I haven't
replace?
purchased.
I mean, so you want to go ahead and get this stuff ordered, so you got it, just be
Yeah.
waiting on it? I mean, yeah, I really don't think there's a problem going ahead and, yeah, I mean, so I'll
But
make a motion.
that's you installing them?
Is there a
Yeah,
quote
that's
on
us
it, or-
installing.
He's he's got prices from Halcomb's. Does he need to get a quote, or is he just gonna buy the material and do it themselves?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you want me to list a price in the.
Yeah, there, I mean, here's the pricing on it. If you wanna just give that to Amy, she can put that in the meeting notes.
Yeah,
And then there's a,
but we need a total so we can vote on it.
and then this one here.
Yeah.
What's that there?
This is for the raising the concrete?
Yes.
Yeah.
Out front of our visitation room, when we moved it from over there off of First North over to North Monroe, there's approximately a 3-inch drop on that. And I did get a quote from, I contacted 3 companies. This is the only company that got back with me on it.
Okay. So, yeah, raising that up on that corner, yeah, that.
Total of $1,000?
$850. He's given us a,
Okay, discount on it, okay.
Yeah, $850. So,
Yeah, we need to make a motion
we'll
on
need to
that
make
to
a
do it.
motion. Now, we'll see which one Amy wants to do first.
Okay.
What are you making a motion on now?
You ready for that one there? Do we need to add all that together to get a number, or how do you want to do
I
that?
can. It's the 228711, is that correct, Mike?
I'm sorry.
Is it this amount, and this amount?
So
It's all 3 of them?
these are, from Lowe's here is the ceiling tile, and then that is the flooring.
Okay, so is this the one you're going with, or is this the one you're going with?
Unfortunately, Halcomb's does not have the flooring tiles, so we would have to go with another location if we.
Yeah, but is it all? Just tell her what to add up
Yeah,
for one
just
total.
these 2 pieces.
So you're getting it from Lowe's?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't need this. $2964.32.
And then you have the money to pay, so in your budget to pay for that? Or you guys, what fund are we taking that out of?
Yeah,
Okay.
their maintenance fund, but I don't know what's remaining.
Yeah,
I'm sure there should be plenty there yet.
all right, so I'll make a motion for that amount.
Roger made a motion for $2,964.32 for the ceiling tiles and the floor tile replacement in the jail. Second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And here's.
Now we
one
got
for the,
this. This is the new sidewalk repair to bring the edge up to where it's flat surfaced. And the amount on it is $850. Do I have a motion?
And Amy will need that as well. I'll make a motion for $850 for the concrete leveling.
Yeah. I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And that is all I got for you guys today on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So we did have a question come up just before you guys got in here. We was talking about as far as the 911 and the other offices there. When we made the decision to have him, he is taking care of all the whole building down there, correct? It's not just the sheriff's portion of the building?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
It's the maintenance of the whole building.
The maintenance of the
not
whole
just-
building, even in the 911 and EMS areas as well? Because that's what we envisioned him taking care of that whole facility down there. So we just wanted to make sure, we wanted to bring it up now before something comes up.
I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, okay, so we just wanted to have somebody to get a hold of if they have a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
gentlemen.
The highway department, is it here?
Okay, let's go ahead and, we're going to do the appointment for the BZA and the Planning Commission.
Planning, yeah.
Doug, you want to come up?
Doug?
Did you have any other names, or is it, I'm
No,
not aware of anybody. If you want to come up, just introduce yourself, Doug.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Doug Rump, and I would be interested in taking this position. I've had experience prior to this when I was the town manager at Dillsboro with BZA and the planning commission portion of it. We actually went through, over the time I was there, and we redid all of the ordinances and all the codes. Took a year. And we went through the whole book and upgraded.
Okay.
So that's an experiment, that which can save you a lot of heartache and headache down the road, so.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do that, serve
Okay.
that position, so.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Doug in both those positions.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Here's the, hey, Doug, here's a, I don't know if you have this, you have a list of who all's on it now?
I don't know if it's a new list. It might be.
Okay, I will just make this, I will get you a list with
Okay,
who all's
that's
there
fine.
now. Yeah.
Doug,
You can have
while
that, I
you're-
have an extra.
Okay. you
while
have
you're
that
here,
list.
I'd go up there and let Tad know
Okay.
what's going on here, so.
Because I have some questions.
Okay, great.
Like meetings and all that. you'll-
Right.
Yes, yes.
There's your list there, that way.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, Lee?
So Craig caught us outside. I just wanted to clarify one thing about so 911 and EMA, I don't think we can use the maintenance budget for the jail maintenance budget for that. Like if we needed,
Cannot.
right, equipment or supplies or something like that. So if he needs to repair something down there, we'd have to get that out of a separate budget.
Okay, commissary would work good.
So even on the building, I mean, how do you differentiate on the building? What it's, I mean,
So technically, that whole section is not, it's connected, attached,
Okay,
but
fair enough.
there's no access between the two.
so
there's-
anything to do with that part of the building will have to come out of a different budget then?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're under their own separate entity and budget, and if any portion of his wages are funded through maintenance and operations, or construction maintenance or operations, that's, I think it's limited to that.
All right, so then we probably will have to retract what we said then, so they'll have to get a hold of Craig.
He doesn't mind helping.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Yeah.
having him help, but
Okay.
I just got to thinking about the budget
All
part
right,
of it, so.
thanks for the
Okay.
clarification.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lee. Steve Energy's not here. We're moving this meeting too fast, I guess.
Yeah, Mark's not here. If Mark's listening online, he knows why we're getting ahead of schedule.
I don't know if Mark was ever able to sign that participation agreement, but that Sacramento Youth Pharmacy opioid thing.
I don't know if he did, but I did remind him last week, but I don't know if he got it
I sent
done.
it through, but when I said like forwarded through, I don't think you would have been able to open it up and print it.
Okay.
We do have until September 30th, so we can probably do it at the next meeting. but
I can
We
print
can-
it.
You're able to print it off?
Yeah, if you'll just give me a minute, I'm playing catch up. I mean, they went 90 mile an hour, I can't type
Well,
it.
that's all right, I have it printed. I just don't know if Mark was able to actually receive it and pull that document up to DocuSign, because sometimes they get a little weird about that
Okay,
going to the original recipient.
Right,
okay, got you.
so we can wait until the next meeting.
We may have to.
All right, okay, because I do not know if he signed it or not.
Or he
He
can,
wasn't gonna be here today.
he can make a trip to get it signed if it needs done, so don't
But I
get,
could leave it with Amy,
okay.
because at least, we've got a hard copy printed off here. Let me just do that.
I do have this, bell and clock contract that was revised that no one, it needs signed so it can be sent to them.
I looked at it, if it's meets your approval, except for they want it governed by the laws of the state of Ohio.
Right, yeah.
No. So we probably need to get back with them and
Yeah,
let them know.
Is
Are
Craig,
you gonna do that or you want me to?
If his email was included on that, I could do that.
Okay.
I think it was. So, hold off till the next meeting.
Okay. So you caught up?
I thought we were just gonna discuss it today.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, if you want to come up, she had some questions of us, so.
So my name's Lori Samples, and I just had a couple questions about some issues we've had here lately with the zoning, planning, different things like that. And I'm sure you guys are aware that we've been to multiple BZA and planning meetings. And at the last couple planning meetings, it's been made known or stated that they are not in charge of enforcement, that they are not given the money for enforcement. So therefore, that's why I'm here today, I guess, to get clarification on, with planning saying that they are not in charge of enforcement, that they're saying that the head of the planning department is not in charge of enforcement. Many people of our community, including me, as well as other towns around us, have had major issues with permits being issued that are not following zoning codes, multiple things that are falling out of our zoning guidelines, being brought before the planning director as well as the BZA and planning departments, yet still falling through the cracks. I was made aware yesterday of 2 additional big concerns. So again, I guess today, to get clarification, since I'm kind of trying to follow the chain of command, is this on you guys then that, you know, if we've not given them a budget, do I have to come to bring this up? It's also been mentioned by the attorney that the town had hired, as well as some other research I had, that ultimately you guys are the authority over the planning department. So just trying to get clarification. Another thing through going through this process is realizing that the people on the boards are not really even aware of their roles and responsibilities. So maybe encouraging if we could get a job description and responsibilities that maybe even as the public, I'd know where to go, because this has been not a good process.
All right. We're both looking at you, John.
That's fine. Planning commission does cover enforcement within the counties. The towns cover enforcement within their incorporated towns.
But if the towns do not have their own planning and building, or
They're
planning,
participating members of the area planning commission. They have the rights to basically enforce those rules and regulations, no different than anyone else. An individual has the right to enforce that themselves through an injunction
so,
process.
but through the processes we've had where we've shown multiple properties are non-compliant, and we've kind of brought those before, that's where we're kind of, because the town doesn't have their own enforcement officer, because they do leave the enforcement to the county.
You may be crossing crafts there with the building department, which does have enforcement over the buildings and a building permit. The planning and zoning, like I said, each town that participates in the area planning commission law or the code, they enforce in their own districts. There's even that's the way it was written in there, and then we even added an additional amendment to the ordinance to basically make it absolutely clear that within an incorporated area, the town does the enforcement. They certainly have the right to.
So the towns are in charge of enforcing their own zoning.
They have the ability to enforce the area planning law within their corporate limits.
But is that their job, or is that only if it fails, then that's their job?
No, they have the right to do that. I mean, a person can file a complaint with us, and we'll probably refer it to the town. TAD would typically go inspect it. Historically, we've had troubles in the past where a lot of people, especially in towns, they get mad about somebody, and we get a complaint, and we're being asked to enforce things that are within incorporated areas of the town. So what they've done basically is that if it's in the county area, the county enforces it. If it's within the incorporated towns, the town enforces it. Plus, the towns sometimes have ordinances, like for instance, Osgood has an ordinance that basically does not permit a mobile home to be placed there. So that's one of their own ordinances that they would enforce.
So the county does not enforce the town's ordinances then?
You're,
I'm just trying to understand. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to
The
understand.
planning commission has a representative from each town that participates.
basically they hear petitions, subdivision applications, rezone requests, and then they pass that along to the respective towns or the county, whichever legislative body would approve a rezone. The BZA hears all petitions as it relates to variances and special exceptions. As far as enforcing a special exception, if something is not compliant with a special exception or the variance, that would come back exclusively to the BZA. But if you read our code and the amendments to it, it specifically indicates that a town has the right to enforce the zoning code.
Okay, so then like when a building is built without, say, a CDR that should have required a CDR, that's up, but it's in a town, so then that's up to the town to pursue issues with this?
That, construction design releases through the state. I think anyone has the ability to question the state building department on that, but that may actually be the building department.
Because I think that's kind of where we're coming to, like, that's happening over and over again, and then it's like, despite me on my own, getting a lawyer every time and coming and filing, like, I don't feel like I should have to keep bringing issues, or that the town should have to keep bringing issues, when it's like, there's guidelines in place, and I just feel like no one knows, like, who's supposed to be doing those, and then when they're not being followed, then we're kind
I
of...
understand your situation is kind of unique,
Well, but it's not just with mine. Like, mine has opened up, like, me realizing what a big issue this has been. And then, two, like, I went to the planning director, I went to the planning board, I went to the BZA, I went, and so, like, again, now I'm here, I just, for clarification, because it's not just for me, like, there's a lot of people that are coming to me because they've seen where I've went, and they're trying to get guidance too, because it's been, like, it's not been a clear system, and two, there's, like, ongoing, it's not just a single issue, it's not just my issue, it's like a county-wide issue.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Jason?
Morning.
Morning.
How are you guys?
Wonderful.
I'll make it quick. How's that? All right. We talked about Bridge 9 briefly last week during the hearing. I did get a second quote from Sieg, Rob Sieg, Franklin County. Offers a lot more than the other quote that I was getting from the other surveyor. About the same price, but he's going to handle all the permits, all the watershed studies and everything.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
it's still early, but that'd be the first thing is a watershed study, he said, $5,000 to $15,000 to do the study, and then go from there before we
Okay.
figure out what we need to do.
Yeah, all right.
So you have all this that you're able to do in your own budget, or?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, I can
okay.
handle all of it. Let's see. We just partnered up with the Career Center, the diesel shop at Career Center, to do the walking beam bushings on the dump trucks, because it takes too much time for my guys to do it. He's got all the kids that can do it. Then it saves us about $3,000 per truck
Great.
for them to do the bushing. So we just buy the parts and donate, whatever.
Okay.
So
Yep.
that helps. Last thing, Michigan Road, we're gonna switch oil to a 90S instead of RS2 that we usually use. A little bit more money, but it's state grade. It won't bleed, hopefully, like the other roads bleed. So we're bumping up. We're only 2 counties in the state that uses the old style, so we're gonna do the new
Okay.
style oil.
Yeah,
I noticed on Finks Road,
Mm-hmm.
you had 2 different rocks.
Mhm.
And the stuff I think you got from Patriot,
Yeah, the brown stuff.
yep, it don't bleed.
No, it's weird, but it's holding up.
It's a different,
But we're gonna shoot that with that rock on Michigan. It's 19 and a half miles, about $30,000 more, but it'll hold up.
I think it'll hold up a lot better
Absolutely.
from what I've been seeing.
And then, if we do bids this year, I'll have a bid that, the 90S with Marathon and everybody else to be competitive, but he gave us a pretty good deal on it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep, that's,
you think that's a harder stone?
it's marble and granite mix, so.
Yeah, it's like the pea gravel they crush
Right,
up.
Crush, yeah.
And they don't
limestone's
have the
porous,
lime in
so-
it.
Right, so that's why it's holding up.
Have you been on Finks Road? You need to drive down it and see, you'll see the difference, like big time.
I'll try and take it home.
Yeah.
But that RS2 is a lighter compound, that's why it bleeds, it don't hold.
Mhm.
They've been using it for years, but I want to try something different,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
But other than that, that's it, unless you guys got something.
So last meeting, Tim brought up a couple of roads that wasn't going to be chipped and sealed.
Oh, yeah, Olean.
OAN, and
Mhm.
so I guess we talked about it a little bit, but I kind of have asked some questions about that. He
Sure.
said they wasn't in the road inventory,
No,
but, so if they have a road code, does that not mean, can they have a road code and not be in inventory?
right, that was, I don't know when they made that up, but probably just to cover their butt from the good old boy club way back 20 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever.
So if we have what do we have to do to put it in inventory?
I have to measure it and then take it over.
So when you get done chipping and sealing, are you going to have a list of the roads that you want, that we need to address, or are you going to wait till you're done, and, or are we, I kind of think we ought to.
I just have to measure them and then go from there.
Okay, yeah, I think once you're done with chipping and sealing this season, we need to talk about all the roads that didn't get chipped and sealed for
Right.
whatever reason, and figure out what we're gonna do going
Like
forward.
the Olean extension, I'm sure that's been brought up to you, across 129.
Yeah, that's one he
More of a
talked about.
Private drive
Yeah.
easement from off of 129.
Yeah,
To take that over, they'd have to bring it up to specs.
Mhm.
It'd have to be widened ditches, possibly blacktop if we go that far with it,
okay,
before we take it over.
yeah. So I think we just have a plan, once, like
Yeah,
I
we
said,
can
once the
look-
season's over, we'll talk
absolutely.
about them and figure out what.
Should be
we're
done
gonna
about the end of September,
do. Good enough, all right.
and then
Did you get a chance to go over and look at EMS's parking lot?
I will go into this morning.
Okay.
I got it wrote down. so
Great.
I haven't had time to do much, nothing, about a week or two.
Okay, I just want
No,
to
we'll
try to get it
yeah,
in there.
Glad you reminded me.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Well, we're still ahead of schedule. Holly, come on up.
Just a follow-up on Lori's, as you know, we have been at the zoning meetings and we've had some conversations, and so, can you send me the specific part of the code that you're referring to, that it's the town's responsibility for enforcement of zoning code? That would be helpful. We looked up, the zoning code, the executive officer, it states or the building director, it states that he is in charge of enforcement in the Ripley County zoning code. And I think the biggest issue that we as a town have at this juncture is we have zoning code, but there are permits being issued for projects that do not meet our code, that are, as Lori referenced, projects that needed a CDR, state release, and did not have state release, but were issued a local building permit, which would mean that that's an illegal permit because it required a CDR and didn't have it. And it's created some issues where, CDRs were obtained, but they were for the wrong project class, and then a different permit was issued and they don't match. And these projects get completed, and where's the system of checks and balances? The town does not know that some of these projects are happening because we don't get an alert that a permit has been issued for something, and then find out later, and then it doesn't meet, we don't have our own zoning code. We have given that to the county for enforcement, and then we have projects that do not meet the county zoning code that are in our community, that do not meet what we have agreed to sign off to the county as. So I guess my question is, where is the accountability or the enforcement for a building permit that's being issued that does not meet our code? And that's not the town's code, that's the county's code. And this isn't not just for sales, it's happening in other communities. So where does the buck stop? Who's going to say when a permit is issued, these boxes have been checked and we know that it meets the density requirements, the lot size requirements, it has a valid CDR because it's required to have one, it has the things that the state requires for the type of building project it is, whether that be, the amount of parking, whether that be a sprinkler system, egress, all of those things. And we as a town, I think as we have expressed, we don't have a problem with the zoning code as it's written. We have a problem with the enforcement of the building code as is written. And it's on the front end. It's not even necessarily on the back end. Because the town is doing code enforcement from a mow your grass, pick up junk on the front lawn. But we can't be an enforcer of, does this project meet code? Because that's not what our police officers are trained to do. They don't study that. They can't know, did that building have, adequate parking? Is that really, we're going to put that on the police officers for code enforcement? And so I just want to share, the town's concern here. And at what point do we just, we have to come to an agreement, and everybody's pointing fingers about who needs to do what, but there's an issue, and I think it's come up in several of these zoning meetings. There's several different lawsuits, and they're all rooted back to building permits being issued that don't meet our zoning code. And at what point do we say, there's accountability there? And, if we're not going to check the zoning code and ensure, we're in the right zone, we've got the right size lot for the project, we've got the parking, it meets the CDR, specifications, it has a CDR, why do we have that office if that's not the checks and balances?
Okay. John, do you have any comments on that?
I was looking for the specific thing, but as far as that goes, I think when we talk about multiple projects, are we mainly talking about the Guild Ernie's, not Ernie?
That is one, but that's not the only.
Another one for sales?
Yes, there are multiple. And it's come to light because of this situation. People start saying things, people start digging, and you start looking into things, and there are multiple things where there have been building permits issued that do not meet our own zoning or did not have state release.
I don't know if I can purchase this page or not.
And you can email it to me, that's fine.
I can't email it through this computer.
Is that
I
printed?
don't know if it's up yet.
And so I just, my point in being here is just making sure we're circling the wagons. We've been to the various area planning, BZA meetings. We went to tech review last week, and just want to make sure that, this is our number one concern. We want to participate in the conversation about the chart and whatnot, but it does not matter what the rules are if they're not enforced. And enforcement on the front end in particular right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
We can say we are doing all these things, but if at the end of the day, we're issuing building permits that don't meet those requirements, why have the rules? And why go through the exercise of updating all of that if we're not following what we have right now anyway?
Does the planning commission view some of these bigger projects to kind of double check things?
Well, if it's something that requires a construction design release, they mainly kind of look at the zone in the area, and then it's kind of on to the design release as far as that goes. But I think they apply for the building permit first, and then they have to get the CDR. So maybe our process is not in the order that it ought to be.
Right, that's what I was kind of wondering, and I apologize, I don't know the process, so I'm not checking.
And that's fine. And I think that's actually a point that Lori has brought up that I'll kind of double down on. I think we have people on these boards that don't actually know exactly what their role and responsibility are. That we've had conversations with various people on the boards, and they're like, I don't know. or people resign from the board because they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, it just seems like it's a check the box. I come and waste an hour of my month, but I don't know what I'm doing here. And so I think from like an education standpoint, when people join the board, it would be really helpful to have, a training. This is what this board does. This is what we expect. These are the statutes that you need to follow, for like BZA. It's not coming to the table to negotiate. It's here are the 3 criteria that you have to consider when getting a variance request. And I don't think that they realize that based on conversations that we've had. There was actually a conversation, we asked, who is this person here? And there were at least 2 people on the board who didn't even know the name of another person who was on the board. And so, like, there just seems to be a gap there as far as people being aware of, committed to, what the role and responsibility and what they are charged with doing as a part of that board, and it's important.
Yeah. Sounds like we just need to do a little research and try to improve it.
Yeah.
That's all we
Agreed.
The code, I was just
Go
going
ahead.
to say real quick, the code section is section 80.99F, enforcement by participating towns. Each town that is a participating member or town of this area zoning code shall have the right to enforce the terms of this code within its incorporated area boundary as set forth in section 80.99A through E above. So it's near the end of chapter 80.
So what would that look like, John? Like, so we recognize that, is this like, there's a building out there that should have had a CDR and didn't have a CDR. What would that look like for the town to enforce that?
If you're looking to enforce that, construction design release, that kind of goes back more to the building permit situation. If you're, I'm talking about zoning, like if somehow or another a person's use or what they're doing doesn't meet the zoning code,
You could say
they're 2 separate things.
operating a business in the wrong zone, for example, okay, so what would the process be if a town recognizes that there's something operating in the wrong zone? That's not coming to the
Historically-
county and saying, hey, like, you've issued a permit for something that's not the appropriate use, or?
Historically, what they've done is the town or a representative of the town will talk to Ted and say, hey, we don't think this matches up with the code. Ted would go out and look at it typically and say, yeah, you're right, or no, it does because of this, this, and this. And if he says, no, it doesn't match up with the code and it is a violation, then the town would be permitted to send a letter, no different than what Tad does, the first time, or even Tad could probably send that letter stating that, hey, there's a complaint. But when it came to the actual enforcement of it, yeah, that's kind of placed upon the town as far as the action for an injunction or something of
And
that
like the
nature.
enforcement or the injunction would be like cease and desist, or?
Well, you could give them a cease and desist or bring yourself into compliance by applying for an appropriate zone or whatever measures they need to take if it can be made legal.
Right.
And if it can't, and they fail or they refuse to do that, then the injunctive relief that a town or a complainant would seek would be an injunction to stop using the property for that purpose. And a town attorney or an individual's attorney, if it's in the incorporated town, would move forward and file a lawsuit for an injunction, naming that person, getting them served, and then going through the court system. Tad would likely be a witness at that point, the executive director.
And then what if it was a situation where they are doing business in the wrong zone, but were given a building permit for that use?
Permits issued in air are basically still enforceable from the standpoint that they have to comply with what's there.
Well, they were, like, say, given a permit to do what they are doing, but it's in the wrong zone. It's not permissible by our zoning. But they were given a permit to do it, so they
Has it
feel like
been
they went
recent?
through the right steps.
Has it been recent? Or is it
Fairly.
something that existed prior to a change in the code or anything?
No.
I do believe that the code states that permits issued in air, and even statute states permits issued in air, don't make that like a lifelong ongoing thing that can be permitted if there's an issue with it.
Okay. All right. So, step would be, I'm just repeating back to make sure I've understood, if there's an issue, we know of something that is not in compliance, we would first contact Tad. Tad would do the inspection, and then it would be a decision at that point whether he or the town sends the letter that states an out of compliance.
Yes.
Okay.
It's typically the way we've kind of handled it
Okay.
for the last several years. So.
Okay.
So to address your one, I do think there was a lot of, I won't say confusion, but a lot of people didn't know who was on the board. And so I did get a copy of
Yes.
who's on the board. I don't know if it's been passed around to a few people. I don't know if you have that yet. If you don't, we can get you a copy
Yep.
of it.
Yeah.
But I will look into, I don't know, is it possible, do we have, use our budget money to train those people? If we can come up with some kind of training for the zoning, is that anything we could even do?
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't take it out of county general, or,
Okay.
I mean, have Tad put it in his budget sheet, so
Or an
you
additional.
know that it's coming.
I'll start looking
for
in,
that
and I think,
purpose.
I do believe they all need to have some type of training, and I'll look into that and see if there's anything we can do.
And I don't think it necessarily has to be a paid training. I think it could be, you have people who have been on the board for years
Right.
that know the role and responsibilities. I think it's just more about the communication,
Right.
or if there's a handbook or something that can be provided when somebody new comes on the board, you know,
I think
this
they
is,
get a book. But they gotta be liable
yeah,
to
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I know, and the training,
Yeah.
I think the training is just a little portion of what you're
Yeah.
asking for. But
Yeah.
I'll look into that and see if there's anything we can do or to offer them that we haven't in the past. So I will look into that.
I think there needs to be more communication
yeah.
with
And
each other.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it too. Like, and it's usually what it all comes down to, is a communication gap. And, you know, a lot of this stuff like that we're talking about is, there's not a, you know, the town doesn't know what's going on until usually it's some sort of complaint comes, you know.
Right.
We don't know about things that are happening because we don't know what permits have been issued. We don't know, you know.
I was thinking, I know the town hall is good. I thought Tad usually informed them something's going on, and they kind of go over it with the utility people. But
I think that may extend into building permits, but typically, I was thinking, and I'm not sure if it's for all towns, that an applicant of anything before the planning commission or the BZA, I was under the impression that maybe the town would get notice of those as well.
So there is a process in place for, you know, if somebody who wants to hook into the public utilities. And it's something the town has already addressed. It used to just go to the utilities office, and it just asked, are there utilities available? Can you hook into them? It was never about, you know, what the project was and all of that sort of thing. It was just, are public utilities available? And so that has already been addressed at the town, adapted that letter. Like, there is a notice back to the town board. But, so that's something that has been proactively done on the town side since this, because we wanted that to be more than just the utilities director knew that somebody wanted to hook up, because it's turned into bigger issues. So
Yeah.
we are proactively addressing that on our end, but just, there's,
Okay. I'll try to get in there and do a little more research and see if we can get this
thank you.
a little bit better than
Thank
what it
you.
is. So,
Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Well, Art,
Art out there?
yeah, I seen him out there. There you go. We're running early, Art, if you want to take off. Morning, Art.
Hi, Art, how are you? Great. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I'm gonna make some notes on this one and shoot it back.
Thank you.
If he hasn't signed it already.
Thanks, Art.
All right, we'll get going. Project summary, architectural punch list. We're most complete. I'm still trying to work with Dunlap to finish the remaining items. The mechanical installation repair throughout the building is ongoing. We worked a couple Saturdays, 7/26 and 8/9. I need to reach out to the mechanical contractor to see when they'll have that completed. There's kind of another ongoing issue that's going to go hand in hand with that insulation repair. We've got some drain pan, fan coil unit drain pan issues. It's a factory issue. I know they've already been in the building. They've worked on, I think, 4 units on the 3rd floor. Is that correct? And I guess the issue is the drain pan in the unit is not centered on the cooling coil. It's centered on the heating coil. We don't know why. So the cooling coil overhangs the drain pan, and I don't know if they put like a divider piece in the drain pan. Do you know that, Craig? Is there no divider piece?
Nothing was added.
So the water is trickling past the drain pan and getting in the bottom of the unit, and then it's leaking out of the bottom of the unit onto the ceiling. So I don't know how severe it is, but it's, causes some ceiling tile damage. But what Trane has to do, they have to take the mechanical piping apart, which in turn they have to remove the mechanical insulation. So these 2 issues are kind of going to be hand in hand.
Right.
We're working to resolve them. I need to schedule a meeting with Dunlap Mechanical to find out when Trane, what they anticipate. They need to go through every unit in the building now for this same issue. So I need to coordinate that and go from there. That's about all I can say for now with those 2 issues. Still have a little bit of restroom work remaining. I know they were on site a couple weeks ago to install the pipe covers. I don't think they were fabricated correctly. Now they're remaking them. So trying to get a date when that'll be installed, remade and reinstalled. Controls, so still working through our controls issues. We purchased new humidity sensors. I have those in hand. We issued a purchase order to Trane for programming. So now I'm trying to schedule with our Version Controls this installing the sensors, and then so I can schedule the programming. So that's ongoing. Jail roof insulation is ongoing. I believe Michael, they've been coordinating with you on great. Any issues?
No issues at this time.
No, we had a leak on Saturday. I went over there and condensate piping was, I think where the old roof joined the new roof, they put a temporary patch in, until probably today, they probably tore it all out. But there must have been a pinhole or something, water was getting in there, so we tried to divert that leak. But I think didn't you say, Michael, it would come back on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, it came back on Sunday. And
We apologize for that.
That's no problem.
Any safety concern?
Nope, no safety concerns at this time.
Craig, any concerns at Courthouse? Okay. Milestones achieved. We started the roofing. Work scheduled this week. Working to resolve those punch list items. We'll continue to have a control meeting. Jail roofing is ongoing and working on the O&M closeout documents. Work scheduled next week, same thing, basement restroom work, punch list items, controls meeting. We'll keep moving forward with the jail roofing. O&M and closeout documents. Up and coming activities, jail solar, I think we're still on track to start August, September. Action items to complete. I'm still working on, as part of my closeout, the fire system reports and stuff, and the evacuation posters, and that's part of the O&M closeout. I do have a couple metal samples on site. I just have to go to the jail and get them for the coping and the metal colors for review. Action items completed. We got that substantial completion form filled out, so. Other than that, moving to open discussion. Is there any open items anybody would like to discuss? Okay.
I don't think there's anything I know of, do you?
Yeah, not at this time,
I
anyway.
provided the quote for the coping. I don't know if you guys want me to work some time to review that.
So when does this need to start, this
Well,
project?
actually, it probably, since they're roofing now, I probably need to approve that change order soon. And I think the quote was only good for a month, so, we probably need to review that and approve it as soon as possible so they can keep moving forward. Or they don't have to go backwards, I guess.
Right, so I know you sent this to Mark, did he have any questions, or on the email? I know the email was to him. I just
Okay.
had to vote on it since he's not here, I didn't know if he said anything to you or not.
No, I'll have to email that to him.
Oh, I thought it had been emailed to him, okay.
No, he doesn't have it.
The thing is, we're gonna have to find if we have the money to even do it.
Right.
So,
I know that includes the chimney, coping, all the coping and for metal replacement, and then the chimney is on there as well.
To do what with the chimney?
What we're gonna do, right now, it's got a limestone cap on it, and it's got the 4 corners of brick, and then on the top, there's like a rubber membrane that's starting to come loose. So what they would do is, they would remove the limestone cap, take the brick down to the actual chimney base, and then install a stainless steel cap with a stainless steel, well, actually, 2 caps, one to cover the chimney, and then one for the flue liner.
Okay.
Because I think there's still a water heater tied into that,
I mean,
right?
I don't, oh, sorry.
It doesn't specifically say as much detail as you just said there, Art.
Okay, well, I can.
It says remove and dispose of the existing cap on the chimney, but then it said replacement of existing chimney is excluded. And I understand they're not replacing it, but it seems to me it ought to probably be a little more specific that it's,
Okay.
your description of the work as you just provided, maybe.
I would be more than happy to change that.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you about like the exclusions, I don't understand, I mean, the removal of existing stone coping. So you was gonna take that off?
No, so that stone coping would stay intact, and then they would add wood as needed to to shim for either the metal or the roof membrane, and then they would cover it with metal panels.
Yeah, so that's why I was just questioning why it's even on here as an exclusion, why that would even be brought up.
Well, because I think, and I just took this off the roofer scope, and I think they provided that, so just for clarity that we're not gonna take the stone coping off and put metal on. That, all that's gonna remain intact, so they're just gonna cover it. So, but I'd be more than happy to change any of the exclusions or scope of work.
I think it can be taken out of the lit correctional facilities money.
I mean,
That's
Yeah.
what it's there for.
construction and maintenance, that's exactly what that's there for.
Yeah.
okay.
So you want him to?
Because this is specifically over the jail, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you want him to get this, the wording correct before we vote on this, or?
Well, that or an attachment or whatever that expounds on this more, because, I mean, removing the cap is
pretty minor compared to taking all the chimney and the brick down and removing that and disposing of that. You know, like you said, we're gonna take it almost to the base and then put that stainless,
That cap over.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'd be more than happy to correct that. And then what I can do, I can make all these corrections and then I can email it to Amy and then, she can send it out for review.
All right, that sounds
And
good.
again, I don't know if this is just Verigy's summarization of the quote, but I want to make sure that you guys, and obviously you guys are in this business and experts, but just that nobody's leaving any I's not dotted or T's crossed.
Absolutely. Not a problem, I'll make those corrections, probably tomorrow, and I'll email it out to Amy for review.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, anything else?
I sure don't have anything, unless you all have anything.
I don't know.
So do we need to approve this now? Because it's going to be 2 weeks for our next meeting.
I don't know why he sends me the paperwork that you guys want, and you can't approve it by email with documentation. I mean, I have the email documentation if you do that. And then in the next public meeting, you can state, like, we did this week by email due to the fact that Verigy needed to get it done ASAP, but
Somewhat of emergency. I mean, we're in a little bit of a dry period now, but
yeah.
rains are coming.
I don't know
again,
why you
probably.
couldn't do that. I mean,
Okay,
you have
yeah.
proof that,
Right.
you know, you were all three on an email, you clarified that you wanted it done, and that you approved the quote. And
Yeah.
then we can bring it up when he's here in 2 weeks, that you guys did that by email.
Or if this quote's valid to, in your mind, with the more specific parameters of the scope of work, you'd approve it on that basis.
Okay, or we could prove this based upon the approval of the new guidelines, or
Okay.
can we do it that way?
Yeah, I'd call it with a revised scope of work, or more clarification on it, that means
More
what you just
clarification.
said on the record.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
want to go ahead and vote on it now then? Is that what we're saying?
You can.
All right.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid.
Accept the bid of $64,034.00. And this will come out of the lit money, am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. Motion's been made, I'll second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 This is contingent on a revised scope of work, correct?
Correct, yes.
And I will send that out tomorrow.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, Art.
No, thank you.
Okay. Patty?
Oh, next. How are you guys?
Morning.
Good, how are you?
Good. Worked out today?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you. Prefer not.
Why do you? This one will be painless, promise. Okay, do you guys have any questions or anything before I got started on the plan, how open enrollment went, anything like that?
I don't have anything.
Okay, perfect. Amy, did you have any comments or questions on open enrollment? How things went, comments from employees, any
I
needs?
thought it went really well,
Okay, all right.
and I never had any complaints, so.
Good to know. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start on slide 4, post-enrollment reminders. Kind of a little bit of housekeeping on some compliance issues. We're starting to kind of see a little bit of an uptick in the departments starting to audit more employers on making sure that they've got all the documents that they should have in place. You guys aren't subject to ERISA, but there are some things that you guys need to make sure that you have taken care of. One of them is a WRAP plan document, and what that does, it's a document that takes all of your plans, so the plans that you guys have with standard insurance and the health plan, and wraps them into one plan document. That is one thing that you guys do not have. And then the other one is a Section 125 plan, and then what that does is that's required in order for you guys to be taking those pre-tax deductions from employees for the medical, dental, and vision. The IRS just requires you to have a plan description, summary plan description and plan document in place. They're not very expensive to get those in place. The WRAP plan document is $500, and then the Section 125 premium only is usually around $350. We have several vendors that do those, so if that's something, it's just a complete pass-through, we can work to get those completed for you guys, just to make sure, again, if you were ever audited by the Department of Labor or anything like that, you would have those in place. Okay? Something for us to talk about and think about, and you guys can vote on it if you want. Next page, the executive renewal summary. So this just breaks down as a reminder of where we ended on all of your benefits for June 1st. So administration, what you're paying Imagine 360 to administer your plan, was just a 4% increase, so $5,500 annually. Reinsurance, we stayed with your same stop-loss reinsurance carrier, AOI Re, and did not change any of the contract terms. We were able to reduce the initial renewal by using competitive data. So we were able to reduce the initial renewal from a 0.5% increase down to a 0.9% decrease. So what you're paying in those reinsurance premiums for that stop-loss protection actually reduced by $22,000. And then your overall fixed and max cost was a reduction as well. So in the maximum liability and claims, it was a $93,000 reduction, and then total fixed and max, when you add those together, was about 16.4% decrease. Okay? And then the next several pages, so the pharmacy, no change in that, remained with ProAct. I did get a report from them after I finalized this, just to double check, and the number that's in this report is actually incorrect. I will send a revised one and get this over to you. The annualized savings that you guys had was $7,500. Some of that was from specialty drugs, so you had 2 members that were on specialty drugs that we were able to save some money on. Copay assistance, so those manufacturer copays, where you get manufacturers provide either a little or a small copay to the members. There was 3 members, or 1 member that had 3 claims that saved some money on that, and then 1 member had international sourcing for a medication. So overall, $7,500 in savings through ProAct for your pharmacy. Organ transplant, so that is that separate policy. So if you did have anybody that had an organ transplant, it would be paid outside of the medical plan, and on that organ transplant was just a $1,400 increase annually. The dental insurance on the next page, so that was an initial increase of 7.8%. We were able to negotiate that down to 5% increase, and then no change in the vision. That's in a rate hold until June of next year. And then your life and disability on the next page, those were all rate holds as well. They were in rate holds until June of 2027. And then there was no change in the accident, critical illness, or hospital indemnity. Those are all also in rate guarantees till 2027. One of the things that I've spoke to Amy about is some of the struggles that they've had with administration with standard insurance. So even though some of those things are in a rate guarantee, come this next year, I think we're going to go ahead and shop it and see if it makes sense to make a move financially and for ease of administration, because we've just had some not significant, just a lot of little things administratively, some billing issues, slow response times for the staff and
It's
some
been horrible to
questions.
deal with, I'll say it out loud.
Yeah. So we're going to look elsewhere. The nice thing, the one thing that why standard was a good fit was because they've got that line of duty benefit for first responders on the life insurance that gives them a little bit more if they're killed in the line of duty. But we've found some workarounds for additional benefits to replace standard. I actually had a city down here in southern Indiana that we actually did the same thing with recently and replaced standard with somebody else. So something that we will look at considering for the renewal for next year. Just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. Financial plan review. So this is just a review of the whole plan year, June 1 of last year through May 31st. So total premium equivalent, so that's what you budgeted as far as what you're taking in for payroll deductions from employees and what you're paying as the employer. So total premium equivalents funded to that midpoint was just over $2.3 million. And then your total plan costs, what were paid out in the stop loss premiums and for the administration and for claims, total plan costs was $1.6 million. So leaving a surplus of $721,000. And then that next page kind of expands a little bit on those numbers, gives a little bit more of a broad picture. So enrollment, and it also compares for the prior period. So anything in yellow underneath the boxes compares it to the prior period, so you can kind of see some trends. Overall enrollment for the year averaged about 107 employees. As far as medical claims, you had just over $1 million in medical claims, or 85% of your overall claims spend. And then pharmacy was $196,931 of that, or 15% of your spend. Reimbursements and rebates, so you guys did not have anybody that hit that specific stop loss last year, so there were no stop loss reimbursements last year, but you did have just over $10,000 in pharmacy rebates come back into the plan, which breaks down to that $388,000 in fixed costs. And then that next line kind of reiterates what was in the prior page, the total cost, your premium equivalents, and surplus. You paid reinsurance premiums of $235,749 to your stop loss carrier. And again, they did not pay out any reimbursements, so you had a loss ratio of 0%. Next page is the historical per employee per month. This is that last page of the monthly report, financial and clinical report that I send on a monthly basis. So this is that last page, but it really has more of a bearing annually when we look at it, because it compares annually all the prior years and that per employee per month, how much it costs to have somebody on your plan. And I really focus on those last two columns, that total cost and the year-over-year change. So this past year, the per employee per month cost was $1,240, or a reduction of 2.5%. Okay. Next page is the clinical dashboard. So this just breaks down any claimants that you had on the plan throughout the year that had a month that they hit $10,000 or more in claims. And then our clinical team rates those whether or not they are high risk, something that's going to be ongoing that we know is going to be a concern. A medium risk might be something one and done, like somebody has a heart attack, or low risk is going to be somebody that has a baby with no complications, or maybe a knee surgery or something like that. And then we also break it down by whether or not it was an employee, spouse, or dependent. So you had 3 high-risk claimants, 1 that was a medium-risk claimant, and then 15 low-risk. And breaking those out, there was 10 of those that were employees, 7 that were spouses, and 2 that were dependents. Okay. Skipping that next slide, that's just a footnote. Slide 15 then breaks down those 3 high-risk claimants, just so we can know, okay, those are the people that are ongoing that we want to make sure that we're monitoring to see if there's any intervention that we can do for as far as case management, or maybe sourcing medications at a cheaper level. First person on it is an ongoing claim for a high-cost medication that they're on for Crohn's disease. Total spend for the year was just under $75,000. The next one was a member that is on Humira for rheumatoid arthritis with claims totaling just under $40,000 for the year. And then the third one was a member that's taking a high-cost medication, Cosentyx, for plaque psoriasis with just under $22,000 for the year. Next slide, we break down so you can kind of see by month that first member and when they had claims over $10,000. So you can see on a month-by-month basis. So it looks like their medication, they're maybe getting every other month because they started, it looks like maybe in about August, and then there wasn't another fill until October. There was another one in November. It looks like in February, they might have gotten it filled, and it came in just under $10,000, and then they didn't have another fill until May. And then this next one for the rheumatoid arthritis, this person's taking Humira, and Humira is a drug that has a biosimilar available. Think along the lines of the generic versus a brand name medication. Biosimilars are just called that because they have the live ingredients in them. So as of July 1st, Humira was removed from PROAC's formulary list, and it's excluded. They worked with the member and sent them a letter leading up to that exclusion to make sure that they were informed that they would have to talk with their physician to get an alternative. So as of July 1st, that person should come off of the Humira and onto a lower cost medication. So hopefully we'll see the cost of this member going down. And then the last one was the person that's taking Cosentyx. They've only had that one fill back in March, and it doesn't look like they filled it since. So it potentially may not hit the plan ongoing. So we'll just monitor that and see if it is ongoing or not. Okay. As far as strategies and solutions, some of the things that we've talked to some employees or some of our clients about, captive reinsurance solutions. We haven't seen this one as far as for our counties and municipalities be a really good solution. In fact, we've seen a lot of times where some of our clients that have done that, especially if they're on a reference-based reimbursement plan like you are, that we actually are seeing their costs go up. But just to kind of give you a quick overview of what that is, it is essentially multiple employers coming together and purchasing that reinsurance all together. And so you have a layer of reinsurance where you guys are all pulling together, and then so you have a higher specific deductible, but you have a little bit less control as far as some of the levers you can pull. There's an investment that you have to make into the captive, and then sometimes getting out of the captive is difficult because you lose the control of having just your experience that we use for quoting every year. So your experience becomes owned by them, and if we ever wanted to leave the captive because we felt like it wasn't financially in your best interest, we would have to start from scratch and have employees complete medical questionnaires, things like that. So it is a solution that works for some, and we always continue to evaluate and monitor and see if it is. So that's one thing. The telehealth options, that is something that you guys did implement June 1st with First Stop Health. We had our first a review with them, and employees are already starting to use it and receiving some positive feedback. So we will do quarterly reviews with First Stop Health, and I'll continue to report back to you on how that's going. But so far, it sounds like it's going pretty well. And then the last two, Benefit Smart and Samaritan Fund. These are things that we'll probably want to talk about when we come out and do your mid-year, and then a little more in-depth conversation. They aren't anything that would be, that we would implement with you guys right now off cycle. And you guys don't have anything significantly ongoing as far as your claims. But Benefit Smart really targets high-cost infused medications, like some of those cancer infusions, things like that. So if you have members that might be on one of those types of medications, they work with your member to potentially move the site of care to somewhere that's still high quality but a lower cost. So they contract directly with some of these infusion centers and are able to get better pricing. So that's one of the models we've been working and getting some success on some claimants and helping them with that. The benefit to the employee is that it becomes a first dollar benefit, so they don't have to pay any out-of-pocket for that infusion that is absorbed by the plan. So that's the benefit to them, is that if they are willing to work with Benefit Smart and potentially have to move their site of care, that they are no longer have to pay any deductible or anything like that for the care. Samaritan Fund is exactly what it kind of sounds like. It was, they started to see a need for people, one of the main reasons why people claim bankruptcy is because they are in debt because of medical care. And this Samaritan Fund came along because of that. So it is Samaritans that donate money to this cause to help with those members with things like this. So what the concept is that we offer it to all employees, so you can't just target those high-cost claimants, but you do offer it to all the employees, and then they have to qualify. So one of the biggest qualification is if Samaritan Fund sees that person's going to have $50,000 or more in claims, then they can, the member can submit a HIPAA form releasing their information. And if they qualify for the plan, then they not only get all of their care for free, but they no longer pay for any premiums for their care. So they find a plan for them on the marketplace, and so Samaritan Fund has people that white glove the service, walk them through exactly how it will work, and help them find a plan that would meet their needs. So what physicians they're seeing, if they have a specialist that they're seeing, they want to make sure that they don't have to move that site of care for anything specialists. Maybe it's a cancer diagnosis, maybe it's a medication, so they want to make sure they can still access the medication that they're currently on, but they walk them through all of that process. And if they are able to get that person off of your health plan and onto an individual plan, you just pay a fee of $55,000 annually. And then that person is removed from your health plan. They're given a debit card with the total amount of their out-of-pocket expenses. So every time they go to the doctor or pick up a prescription or anything like that, they just swipe that card and they never pay anything for it. So something to consider. Again, you guys don't have anybody currently on the health plan. It's a significant concern, but I think that I have 3 clients already that are doing it for January 1. 2 of them have members that are anticipated to be $1.5 million or more in claims in 2026. So it's a win-win because these members are now going to get no-cost health care with no issues with their ongoing care, and they're coming off the plan, so it doesn't impact the plan and the cost and what they're able to offer to their employees ongoing.
So if, on that particular plan, if we had that, would the employee be able to switch mid-year? Or if they become ill and they see this getting ready to happen, could they switch?
So they have to have a qualifying event as far as coming off of the plan and going on to another plan. So if it's something that happened mid-year, so say we implemented it June 1 of 2026 so what we do is educate prior to open enrollment that this is coming. If you're interested, fill out this HIPAA form, and then it takes them about 3 weeks to get through that process of reviewing their claims, confirming that they are eligible, because you can't just decide to do it just because you don't want to have to pay for your health care. You actually have to qualify and be a high-cost claimant, be burdened with those high-cost expenses. And then once they qualify, then they would be put onto the marketplace for one of those health plans and come off of your plan. If you have a new hire throughout the year that came onto your plan and then find out after the fact that they were a high-cost claimant, or throughout the year somebody gets diagnosed with something, they would have to wait until the next open enrollment for that qualifying event in order to come off the plan.
Okay.
Good question. Jeff, did you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Multi-year strategy recommendations. So this year, as I mentioned, market the ancillary lines of coverage, so the dental, the vision, all the life and disability, those benefits. We'll do that early in January so we can look at those alternatives early and go ahead and knock that out and have that ready to go for June 1st. Evaluate plan modeling. So you guys have had the same plan, that $2,000 deductible or $4,000 for family for quite some time. So just evaluate some plan modeling to see if we should tweak that, make any changes to that for 2026, 27 plan year. Conduct a benefit satisfaction survey. That's just a recommendation, just to see how employees like the health plan and all of the other benefits that you guys are offering. So if that's something that you guys would like to do prior to the next open enrollment, as we're making decisions on if we want to make any changes, so we can get the feedback from employees. We can customize the questions, even if you want to throw in something non-related to benefits or wellness or anything like that, and then we can compile and aggregate those results for you. We can either do it via QR code or a link to the survey, and then we can just review those results, and then as we're doing our mid-year review, kind of look at the results and see what employees are asking for, whether it's they would be willing to pay for a higher deductible for lower payroll deductions, whether they would like to see a stronger dental benefit, something that paid a little more in dental benefits annually, anything like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can work with Amy and her team to get that out to employees.
So on the dental, do you have a way to, I would assume that any dental, anytime somebody goes to the dentist, it's submitted, and then sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's not.
Depending on
what it is. So do you have the ability to look at those things that aren't paid to see if that's something, if people are getting this done and we're not paying for it, to maybe should look at bringing that into what we would pay? Do you have the ability to do that?
I'd have to ask Delta if they're able to give any kind of a report, because one dental contract, they're all very similar as far as some of the things that you might see is, okay, whether or not you have an ortho benefit that's excluded, whether or not you have implants that are, if they're covered or not covered, and if they are covered, if they're under major services or basic services, endodontics, periodontics, those are some of the things that you kind of see tweaked in dental plans. But as far as what's covered, usually that's pretty standard across the board, and then what percentage it's paid, whether your basic services are paid at 60% or 80%, or your major services are paid at 60 or 50%. So those are the kind of things that you usually see in a dental contract, not necessarily something that's just like an outright exclusion, unless it's something that's cosmetic.
I was just kind of thinking that maybe if there was a way to, instead of having this basic plan, the plan that everybody kind of goes by, looking at our data from our employees to see what we could curtail to make it better for our employees based on what they're not getting, what they're getting done that we're not paying for.
Yeah, I can ask and see if there's any kind of a report that Delta can run. Consider adding Benefit Smart to the plan. So that's just that one of those that I was talking about that targets those high cost infusion drugs and moving those. So that might be something that we want to consider, consider adding, and then continue to promote First Stop Health. They take on a lot of that heavy lifting as well. But I think as people start to use it, using that word of mouth for employees to start, hey, I really used it, really liked it. So those testimonials work well. Every year, we'll evaluate your stop-loss contract, so that's something that you'll see on the strategy recommendations every single year. We'll always watch for those cost containment strategies to implement, so things like that Benefit Smart and Samaritan Fund are things that we are targeting right now. And then continue to monitor the utilization of First Stop Health, because you have that 2-year contract and they are on a guarantee for utilization. So we'll want to monitor that utilization to make sure that we are getting that, because if we don't, then 100% of their fees are on the line. So if they decide, or if they don't meet that utilization, they'll refund a certain percentage or up to 100%, depending on what that utilization ends up being. And then that last 27, 28, again, evaluate the stop-loss contract. evaluate your contribution strategy, and then, again, cost containment strategies as we see new things emerge. We'll always evaluate those. Strategy timeline, so we're here doing your annual plan review in August. Each month, you'll continue to get the monthly financial and clinical reports for me. And then probably in December will be the next time that we talk to start with your pre-renewal strategy and start marketing for the June 1 renewal. Any questions, comments?
I do not.
I do not.
Perfect. All right, see? Told
Thank
you it'd
you.
be painless this time. I've got an extra one. Amy, do you want to give it to Mark?
Yeah, I can.
All right, guys. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, thanks a lot.
Uh-huh.
Do we need to approve the,
Oh, yeah, do you guys want to go and proceed with the, working with one of our vendors to get the wrap document? It's $500 for just a base wrap document, which is all you guys would need. The Section 125 is probably about $350. If it's anything different than that, then I'll let Amy know, but it should be $350 for that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to do that.
Okay.
motion been made, I'll second. All those
And
in
that's
favor?
for a RAP plan document
Right.
and a Section 125.
Yes.
And what was those costs again?
$500 for the wrap plan document, and then $350 for the Section 125 document.
And those are needed in case
Yeah.
we get audited.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, the Department of Labor or anything like that came and audited you, you need to make sure that you have those documents in place.
Just wanna
All
get
those in
that-
favor?
Get that on the public record, that's why we're doing it. 'cause we
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, we're just starting to see more audits, one of our clients coming to us and ask, hey, we just got a Department of Labor audit letter, and so we're just starting to make sure that, help employers make sure that they are dotting all their i's and crossing all their t's, so.
All right.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Perfect.
Motion carried.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Y'all have anything you want to bring up or anything?
I can make a motion to adjourn, but I don't think it counts.
No, we got some other stuff here coming up yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but, our next thing is at 10 o'clock, so want to take a comfort break quick?
Either that, or do you want to go ahead and sign some papers, Amy, or you want?
I can do whatever.
Yeah, let's go ahead and sign, unless,
I'm going to take a comfort
okay.
break real
okay.
quick.
All right.
Goodness.
Absolutely. How you doing today? Good. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You were very attentive, I was very impressed by it.
Okay, yeah. That I didn't fall asleep.
Over a little bit. Yeah, that's a tough one. You gotta do it.
So I had the gentleman reach out to me,
Okay.
so, what is that?
Morning.
We were, ever since you go about the easement and the right of way stuff before.
Okay.
And so, from what it
You
sounded
know,
like, you guys were going about the right way.
There were years ago I considered maybe running for public office, and then I decided it wasn't for me. But I remember I mentioned the former judge's judge told me, I said, yeah, I thought about running. Well, the first thing you need to do is quit representing the planning commission, because no matter what you do, you're always going to make half of the people mad. Something to that effect. To paraphrase what he said, that was it. You know what? I think he was right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was
Appreciate
right.
your input. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to,
Yeah.
they can help you guys, that's your best.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Something else I was gonna say, you guys,
Well, you know, sometimes it's easier
Sorry.
because some of those things, if inherent permit.
That's right, yeah. That's
we,
what you did.
we
The
hired
whole
her.
story
And,
when they first come in, but that
she
happens
let
too.
us know, she
You know, and I think that most of you, you'll find that there's a state statute on those that should say permits issued doesn't make the use or whatever valid. It doesn't make it valid.
Yeah, I think she
So
will.
you guys know we are on public record still. Okay,
Well,
I'm just saying it's loud.
But by the same token, it depends on if,
Yep.
you know, if it uses where the building's.
I appreciate that.
The court may choose not to make them stop that use. Yeah, and it's just a coin flip to know where all that stuff shakes out. So, that it does.
Renovating the courthouse and it's about the Oklahoma City Hall to try to renovate it, move the county house.
Sure. Anyway, well,
Okay, right.
They're coming over Wednesday night.
yeah.
Talk to us.
I think they'll do all right.
I may.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thanks for coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Any questions, reach out.
you too. He had to be at work today, so, yeah, good seeing you, thanks for coming. You too.
Take care.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and, Janine?
Oh, you guys are ready?
Yep,
Okay.
we're ahead of schedule.
Got it scheduled. Good.
Mhm.
I'm just going to, some of this is old news to you guys because you've heard it before, but because we're live streaming, I'm going to go ahead. My name's Janine Ostendorf, CEO of Ripley County Care. It's a nonprofit organization. We have a 501c3 organization. We established it last March of 24. We're here to work with the county authorities to improve animal wellness in Ripley County and hopefully put an end to some of the animal neglect and cruelty. Last Thursday, Ripley Care met with Dr. Kathleen Macy, District 9 Field Representative from BOA, which is the State Board of Animal Health. It was very informative and a very productive meeting. Dr. Macy has encouraged us at CARE to stay on this task and to continue our course. And BOA is offering online classes, and it's called AIA, and it's Animal Investigation Academy, and it's basically set up for like law enforcement officers and prosecutors. It's to educate them on how to investigate animal cruelty and neglect cases, and teaches them the body scoring techniques and other techniques. CARE, we are going to register with the BOA this week, so we will be, kind of registered with the state organization. Cases like Bones, you guys remember Bones, and Jake, with an animal control officer, would have a very much different outcome than what they ended up, because I know for a fact that this one died 7 days after we offered to pay the vet bill and take it to the vet. This one was actually in worse body condition than the first one, so I'm assuming he probably died. If we would have an animal control officer, the way it would go, I was just at Decatur County on Saturday and spoke with their animal control officer and the director of the shelter that's owned and operated by Decatur County. And they seen these pictures and they told me they would step in, they would definitely contact sheriff, the ACO would go there and come back to the sheriff's department and said, we need a warrant. They'd get a warrant and they would remove those dogs in that kind of condition that same day. So that's how they were doing it in Decatur County. Without that kind of cooperation with the local authorities. An animal control officer can't do their job. Rescues like CARE, we can't do our job either if we don't have the cooperation and the help and the backup. When we are able to get those dogs, CARE can get these animals placed in a foster home. We can get them placed in, my place can be a foster home, but there's several of, there's 370 of us that belong to CARE. So there's foster homes throughout, which if you could get these animals in a safer environment to where we can get them vetted and get them back, or nursed back to health, then you can end up adopting them out to a home where they wouldn't be neglected. If there's too far gone, then naturally we would pay to have them humanely euthanized, because in some cases you can't save them after they've been mistreated for a long period of time. Without an ACO and cooperation from the county, to rescue these animals, to do anything as a rescue group, we just can't. I mean, the laws don't allow us to do it without the cooperation. I got a phone call after the meeting on Thursday with the lady vet from BOA. I got a phone call from Peggy Ehlers, president of council, and she wants me to co-chair a fact-finding and investigative committee. And there'll be two of us from CARE on that committee. And she mentioned that one of the commissioners is going to be on the committee. Could I ask which commissioner is going to be on the committee with us?
I will.
Okay, thanks.
I agree to do that.
Okay, thanks, that's great. Currently what we're doing, we're using private property and private vehicles with a dog warden, and it's a part-time position, and he only deals with dogs. We have many other animal-related issues that need to be addressed, some which could be health hazards. You know, if you've got animals that's dying out in the pasture and it's laying there, that's a health hazard. So on a positive note, Ripley County Humane Society has set up a spay-neuter transport clinic for October the 10th. And you can schedule your spay-neuter by calling 317-765-0072. And the health department is currently working on getting the rabies clinic set up, and that's going to happen in the near future, and I need to check with them before I leave here today. We're making progress. We're making baby steps, little by little. I think that we can probably get Ripley County to join all the other surrounding counties here in southeast Indiana and get an animal control officer eventually and make this happen so we can kind of get rid of some of these neglect cases that we're seeing. This don't only happen, it don't only help the animals, it's helping the residents too. We can't lose sight of the fact that when you got animals laying around in these kind of conditions, that's not healthy. So it's not just for the animals, because we also have, when you have healthy animals, you have healthy people. And after extensive research, and I have went to a lot of the towns and cities in Ripley County and got copies of their animal ordinances. I think that we at CARE really strongly believe that we could do better with our county ordinances. So I think that's one thing that our committee needs to look at first before we go into anything else. We need to look at that, because if the animal control officer doesn't have good ordinances and guidelines to go by, he's only as good as what his guidelines are. So that's one thing that we...
Are you seeing that these ordinances that you're getting from surrounding areas, are they all pretty much the same?
No, they're not the same, but they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Versailles stands out to me. I've read through all of them, and Versailles, City of Versailles animal ordinances stands out. Osgood's, it's very good. I mean, they name fines for neglect.
Okay.
And those are ways that your ACO can make money for the county. So without the ACO, we don't make any money on any of that. And that's all I have that's new information. You know, the lady vet, she was very, very overwhelmed and excited that we're doing what we're doing. And she told me when she left, she says, don't stop. I said, you do get discouraged. I mean, you can get discouraged doing these kind of things and seeing these kind of things all the time. She says, don't ever give up, because the next one you may save. So,
All right.
thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to see if Ken's in?
Yeah, if he wants to come on over.
Yeah.
Let me see what his extension is. Can you give me Ken Hilton's extension? Yeah, the veterans officer. Should be on his list.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
We'll be in contact.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. What was I trying to say? Okay, thanks. Bye. That's okay, bye.
Did you get the email from Jeff French?
Last week?
Been Friday, probably. I think he's asking us to do a moratorium,
On the battery storage.
battery storage with the solar thing.
I didn't see that.
Because I guess somebody's inquiring about the stuff and we don't have an ordinance set up for it.
The email he sent me basically said that was already covered, but he may have sent you a different one.
Yeah, yeah, you're not actually, yeah, you was on the one that Tad sent with the question, and then, like, you see,
Yeah. Jeff had mentioned, I think battery storage comes under the solar ordinance, but.
I don't think they have definite rules and regulations on setting them up, though. Like dikes and so far away from buildings, because that stuff is very explosive and easy to catch fire just by getting wet.
Well, Jeff had responded, maybe it's not here, but he said that it was covered under that. So then Mark basically is saying we don't have an ordinance. Actually, if you look in the solar, I think it talks about commercial energy storage system.
But is there guidelines?
Well, there's state guidelines. I sent the state statutes to Tad and Jeff and Dave, that comes under Homeland Security. But if you want something more, I mean, right now, I think the way I'm reading that ordinance, setback requirements would be the same as solar panels. As far as that.
Do you know how far that is?
I don't remember what they ultimately said on.
Well, to me, the way I understand it, with the batteries that's in the cars, it's going to be the same type of batteries.
Well, I imagine it's some
And
form of.
They're very flammable, so we wouldn't
Lithium
want
or-
it too close to a structure.
Not sure
So-
what the state statutes are on that.
So should we go ahead and do the moratorium? And then, in case, so we can review this?
If you want to, I mean, that's your
Because if
business.
somebody's looking into doing it, we kind of want to make sure we're comfortable with our ordinance, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, but I guess we can't vote on that until Amy gets back, but
Ken has somebody that's gonna come in with him, so he's supposed to be here at 10, so.
Okay.
okay.
I have the August 4th meeting minutes. I don't have very much, that's why I'm not getting up.
Do I have a motion to approve the August 4th meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Motion's made, seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
And then I have the claims and payroll.
Do I have a motion? to
Make a
accept
motion.
Claims and payroll? Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You could start it.
Now, go ahead. I'm going to tell you what you missed.
That's right.
One of the states, under their fire and safety laws enforcement, basically states, this section applies to a utility scale battery energy storage system installation of which is subject to department approval under section 4A. If utility scale battery energy storage system is located less than 1/2 mile from the nearest 100-year floodplain, as determined by the most recently issued Federal Emergency Management Agency, flood insurance rate maps, all of the system's equipment must be located at least 2 feet above the 100-year frequency flood elevation. So obviously they want to keep them out of water.
Yes.
There's some other ones. I can send those to you guys, at least what state fire and safety rules are on them at this point.
Now, is that the state ordinance or is that county ordinance?
That's state statute.
Okay.
That's like with probably labor and safety, fire and safety laws enforcement, emergency response training. There's a number of things that they cover there. They probably don't really cover setback screening, any of that stuff, but I think the way that our current code reads, let's see where is it at. Okay. So energy systems. This is kind of right at the first part of it. In the Code of Ordinances, it's in there as section 156.661. I don't know which, it'd be under section 80 point something in the county code, but as far as the Code of Ordinances, it talks about the applicability, and it states, this subchapter applies to all solar energy installations within the jurisdiction of the County Area Plan Commission. This section is not intended to regulate or allow the use of land as commercial energy storage facility. Commercial energy storage facilities must comply with all requirements of this zoning chapter. So, I'm not really sure. See, I didn't write this. I was out of the loop on this one. This subchapter applies to all solar energy installations within the jurisdiction of the County Area Plan Commission. This section is not intended to regulate or allow the use of land as a commercial energy storage facility. But then it said commercial energy storage facilities must comply with all requirements of the zoning chapter.
So,
Kind of sounds, I don't know.
well, I think we ought to do a moratorium, just be on the safe side so we have time to review in case something's popping up.
Certainly something you guys can do. Probably moratoriums, the
That way-
one thing about them, they need to be, I guess, reasonable within time and scope as far as how long, and that ultimately you're working toward figuring out what needs to be done, and it doesn't just sit there forever.
Right.
That's about the only thing I think courts would typically say about moratoriums. Just kind of like covenants not to compete, they gotta be reasonable with
Right,
time
I
and
just
scope.
wanted to do that in case something does pop up before something's actually defined, and we're on board with it all.
Moratorium regarding.
It'd be, I guess you'd call it a battery or commercial energy storage system.
So, I just know he's asked to do it, so that way, I'd rather play it safe.
Okay.
So, do I have a motion to do a moratorium on the battery storage?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Because I think give us a year to work on that, but if it gets done sooner, we can,
I don't know that there's
Yeah.
per se a timeline on
Oh,
it.
there's not a time-
I think it means if you're gonna put one in place, you kind of get to working on it.
right,
You get moving and you don't just let it hang there.
right,
That, I think as long as you're moving forward on it in some manner,
okay.
it's probably, moratoriums are upheld. But if they get too lengthy in time and scope and there's no real work on it, then it's like, come on, guys, what are you doing?
Right.
That's how a court would likely treat that.
Okay. Well, more things need to be done to the ordinance, and that needs to be getting done, that way we don't have to worry about it no more, so.
There you go.
Okay, we'll still have to wait on Ken.
I have this WTH thing for, it's the electronic map application agreement. We signed this agreement for anyone wanting our GPS information. This is for CoreLogic, which is one of our mortgage companies. They get it every year. They pay $750 for it. It just needs a signature.
Okay.
They pay, we pay $750.
They pay us.
They pay us to be able to use our data. Okay.
Yes.
Morning.
I get.
There's trouble.
That's my bodyguard.
I know, you brought a good one.
Oh, shoot.
You ready for me?
Yep, we are.
Well, thank you for the time to come in here and explain a little bit what we do.
So you haven't been in here about, just so you're aware, this is being live streamed on YouTube, this meeting.
I'll try to keep it under.
So just, I didn't know if you knew that or not. First time in since we've been doing that. As more for Shogo's benefit.
I'm dressed up a little, when I do that.
Well, anyway, just kind of fill you in what we've done in the past and also maybe in the future and so forth. But the department is doing well. We're staying busy on average. Andrew and I are probably seeing about three new veterans each week, which has added more clientele to the claims and so forth. When we first started, I can believe we had a little over 2,200 veterans when I first started back in '07. Now we're below the 1,800 mark. But we still stay busy, mainly because we not only serve the veterans here in Ripley County, there's neighboring counties that comes in to gain benefits as well. Because we always tell our veterans we have no borders as far as no matter where they live. We have probably a dozen coming out of Kentucky, mainly because Kentucky is set up a lot differently than Indiana. They have regional service officers, which takes in 5 or 6 counties at a time. So they bounce around from county to county, and the veterans doesn't really get too much recognition over there in Kentucky. West Virginia is another state that does that as well. So why that turns out that way, I really don't know. You know, not all states operate the same as far as that goes. But like I mentioned, we're down to about 1,800 veterans. Our office also serves veterans from the other areas. Also, we have thousands of dollars that comes into the county each month due to what we do here. The most recent federal report comes from the 2023 GDX report, which GDX stands for Geographical Distribution Expenditures that the VA spends in each state or each county, how they break it all down. For the year 2019, Ripley County we had a little over 2,100 veterans living in the county, and over $7 million came in to the county that year. I can remember back in 2010 was about the first year that we hit the $1 million mark for Ripley County. That's for a yearly basis. For 2023, we had 1,887 veterans living in the county, bringing in nearly $11.5 million for that year. Even though our veterans population is declining, mainly because there's no wars going on, or there's not a whole lot of younger people going into the military. But, you know, if they do, then they know they have a place to come to if they need any assistance coming into our county. So it has quite an impact to the counties and as far as the county for the department itself. And we plan to continue to learn more, whatever it takes to help the veterans within the county. We also have the capability of transporting our veterans to and from their VA appointments, whether it's going to be in Indianapolis, Cincinnati, or even Dearborn County. There's other clinics throughout the state as far as that goes, but mostly we use Cincinnati and Dearborn County VA clinic down there.
Most recently, we're in the process of gaining new graphics for the outside of the van. The ones we've had in there since we've got the van back in 2017, the heat and weather related kind of messed everything up on those decals and so forth. So I got to get it prepped up. I went out and gotten quotes. I'm waiting on a third quote because that's what the health department is requesting. Health department is the one that's going to help put the graphics on.
Great.
And so that was when Paul was there as a director, I believe it was. And that was one of his passions. He wanted to help veterans out. So leadership down there now said, well, we're going to follow up with that and continue that, whatever it takes to get that taken care of. So as soon as I get that third quote in, then I'll go down and see them, see if we can't get that taken care of. Then while I was out there getting quotes, I noticed that there was a big dent in the front bumper. Evidently, it probably happens one of those issues when you go to the Cincinnati VA Medical Center up there, there's hardly any place to park. So the veteran or the driver just has to park wherever. So most likely it might have been a hit and run. So we're going to try to get that repaired along with getting the body, the outside exterior buffed down, get it ready for the new graphics. And I want to show you as far as I assume you probably want a quote on the body?
Is that going through the health department as well, or who's paying for that?
But no, I haven't really, I'm not even sure how I've never had to file any kind of repair before.
Insurance, wasn't it?
So how much is the quote for?
Unless it's less than our deductible.
That's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to be less than our deductible, I would suspect.
Yeah, so, yeah, it went to $885.
Yeah, I'm sure that's less than our deductible.
I think it is. I'm not sure.
Amy, would you know, did we carry $1,000 deductible on the auto?
Yes.
Okay. So we need to come up for some extra funds for you to do this repair?
Pardon me?
Do we need to come up with the funds for you to get this repaired?
I guess maybe I do have some left in the van budget as far as when we get fuel and oil changes and the maintenance and so forth. But I could go either way, but I wasn't too sure. When I found out about it, I called Roger and asked him what's the best thing to do. And so this is what he suggested, that I go out and get a quote, and that way we know. I didn't know if the county garage wanted to change it or switch it around, but it's still, the outside exterior needs to be buffed down before they put the new graphics on, just so it has a good way to stay on there.
Yeah.
So this quote is to get it buffed as well?
Correct.
Right, and the new bumper put on?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I really don't know that the county garage would have the time.
Not right now,
to
they
put
wouldn't,
into it.
no.
I mean, I think we need to go ahead with this quote. That's a reasonable quote to me for what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, if I get that,
You can have it back.
if I get that done, I know I got to probably contact Patty today. He said he has room this week to go ahead and probably have that taken care of.
Okay. Do you have enough funds in your fund?
I believe at this time, yes.
Okay.
Just
And
go ahead and do that.
If you run short, we'll just have to try to make things good,
Okay,
if that's okay. I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean, do we have to make a motion for him to go ahead and do this? I didn't think we would. Okay, just glad you made us aware of what's going on.
Yeah,
Go
appreciate
ahead and take care of that, and then if you need more money after, that's spent for something, just come back and we'll figure that out if you run low on money.
Okay, all right, then I'll do that. And as far as we're getting kind of anxious to get that taken care of on the subject There comes a time when the drivers leave, go to Cincinnati or wherever they go. When they come back, sometimes the parking lot's full. They have no place to park the van. Would there be a possibility that we could pick out a spot somewhere out there where it would just be specified for the van? Something similar to what they have over here for court services?
Where are you referring to exactly again?
Well, normally we park over here on the east side
Okay, over here.
of the parking lot, but, I wanted to make sure that,
Where would you want it to be? The parking spot?
I'd say anywhere in the middle over here. I think it'd probably be better protected if it was in the middle rather than being on the outside, but
You gotta make sure that the people who are driving your van pull all the way up to where it's not in the middle and you can't get through.
Right.
Because that's been, not you personally, but that has been an issue before.
Yeah.
Where we can't get the big trucks through because they're parked in the middle.
Right.
Because if they park on the side, they can hit the curb.
Yeah.
They can, and they know they're up as far as they can go, and we ain't got no choice. But when they're in the middle, it's hard for them to know how far to pull up. And then there's not enough room in between. Know what I mean?
Probably a good idea. We don't have, it's not that all that critical right now, but, eventually maybe what we can do.
So
I
I
noticed there's a
think,
couple of,
like somebody puts orange cone out there,
That's Tad.
yeah.
so that,
Or
that's-
Tad's office.
right, so I mean, is that something we can do, just have an orange cone, and then when you leave, if somebody uses a van, just put it there in the middle, and then when they come back, pull in there, so, and instead of having to put signage up and everything, do you think we can get by with doing that?
I think that's probably should be sufficient. I would think that.
Yeah, I don't see a problem doing that, and I don't even think we would have to do any type of signage or anything, just put an orange cone there, and if that starts getting abused, then maybe we have to take it another step further. Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Now on to the monument. So Craig mentioned something to me this morning about the lights are out over here, which shines at nighttime on the flag and so forth at the monument. So that's pertains to, I believe it's on, was it on RENC or Duke?
The electric comes from Duke. When I first went to the commissioners said they'd pay for one light, and then I went to the town board, this has been when it first started, and they would pay for the other ones. It was like $30 a month then. They said the town board said they would take care of one, and the commissioners, Kenny and all, them guys said they would take care of one too. We had two lights, and they was $30, $40 a month, them big bright lights, and that's how we had that documented, or I guess they did at the time. Yeah. But that, I do remember that, yeah.
Since the monument's been there close, a little over 30 years, so therefore it's just maintenance. It needs to be done every so often.
So is the electric company furnishing the lights and then they pay the electric bill?
No, way when I went there, and that, the town board said they'd pay 1 month, they would pay for one light, and the commissioners would pay for the other light. So there was two lights in the original thing, that, them 400 watts or whatever.
But did the electric company put them up?
Yeah, Duke takes care of the lights, but we have to pay monthly.
Right,
or you
right,
guys-
Right, so they're not working?
Right, evidently they probably went out.
So we need to contact Duke and let them know they need to come and replace one, or look at them? Is that what
Yeah.
we're needing to do?
That's according to what Craig told me this morning.
Okay, so I'm not sure, I mean, I would think,
How long have they been out, Kenny?
I don't know. He just
I
told me
didn't
this
know they was
morning.
out.
If
I
they're,
would think
if
he
they're
could
that
go.
old, it'd be nice they put a nice,
Yeah.
least expensive LED.
and we'll ask Craig and have him check into it. He can
Yeah.
contact Duke or whatever we gotta do. Yeah, we'll look into it.
Okay, because I believe, didn't you say the city pays for one and then the county pays the other?
Yeah, I went to the town board meeting, and they said they would pay for one. I've seen you like, I can't remember, but $30 or $40 a piece, and commissioners would pay for the other. And we had two, two of the big bright ones that shine on the poles and the flag.
Okay, we'll look into it.
Okay, appreciate it. Now, as far as, another thing, he mentioned something about you're gonna be changing some things over there, new landscaping and so forth?
We will probably do that next year, or start maybe this fall, we're not sure exactly, but we will be doing some new landscaping, that is correct.
Okay,
It'll be after the bell tower's completed.
okay, all right, so we don't have to be in a big rush on that, but what we're planning on doing, another thing, what we try to make sure that the monument itself is well-maintained, and good for the visitors that comes through from other states that wants to see what's going on for veterans and different things like that. So we are going to make some improvements according to our committee. There is a committee that sets up, and we'll try to have quarterly meetings. And most recently, we went over there and noticed that there's some overgrown bushes over there. It's hiding part of the monument. And there's mostly the ones with some type of a bigger leaf rather than the evergreens. That's causing a lot of viewing problems for people to see the monument itself. So being that it's on county property, we needed to come to you to get the approval to say, yeah, could we go ahead and remove those bushes and maybe put a lower profile bush in, or?
So who's on your committee? Who all's represented on that committee?
Well, it pertains to all the veteran service organizations in Ripley County. There's the VFW. I think there's 3 VFWs in Ripley County. And the American Legion, we have 6 American Legion posts within Ripley County. And so we get 2 members from each of those communities to sit in on that committee. So we're probably close to 15, 18 members on this committee to make decisions on what the monument's going to be doing, what needs to be done, and so forth.
So I don't think those decisions have to wait till we landscape. If you guys want to go ahead and get together and talk about what you need to do and let us know, I think that's fine to go ahead and do that. We won't, I mean, anything we do landscaping wise won't change anything that where the monument's at.
Well, Craig, this morning that Craig mentioned something about they're going to be putting new rock around the courthouse over there, something similar to what they have here.
Yeah,
I guess it's the double washed creek rock or whatever.
yeah.
And he said something about they talked about maybe trying to do out around the monument the same way.
I haven't heard that, but,
Okay.
I mean, we can, yeah.
So
He's probably just bringing up thoughts.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, because we put in white marble, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, wasn't it, Sugar? Somewhere along in there. And we also put border stones around it to kind of keep everything under control.
But there's nothing been planned out what we're actually doing with the landscaping yet.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
but I do recognize the fact that some of those are overgrown, and if you guys want to go ahead and make plans to try to take care of some of them, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Now, as far as, I think Amy and I talked briefly on flags for the county. And I believe we're going to try to get some type of an account for the county.
They won't set one up.
They won't set any kind of an account up. Right?
If we're gonna buy flags, we'll have to buy them with the credit card and then order them.
So that same with the American Legion, the emblem sales that I gave you the phone number for. Well, I mean, I know you have several flag poles within the county, like the highway department, the jail, and I believe there's one over there, Delaware. I don't know if any of the firehouses have flags with that.
Not that we take care of.
You're not responsible for the ones at the firehouses or anything like that. But I know there's several flags that probably comes through the county to get displayed whenever they do get damaged and so forth. And I'll try to see if I can't make contact with the American Legion and see if we can figure out a way to get an account. That way,
I mean, I called that book that you gave me, and they were like, no, absolutely not, we're not setting up any new accounts.
I'll see if I can talk to them next week. Oh,
See if you got a pool.
they know me pretty well up there.
So do you know where we have flags out or do we need to poll the county to find out that where all we have flags and get the sizes so we have a list of what we're actually displaying? So would that information help?
Yes, it will. Matter of fact, after I talked with Amy about it, I think what we'll try to do is figure out I'll go up to the highway department, find out what size flag they need for their pole, which is most likely it's going to be a 5 by 8, because I think they got a 25-foot pole up there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what they have down here at the jail. So it varies the pole height as far as that goes, what size flags you should fly.
Yeah.
And also at the base of each one of these flag poles within the monument and here at the annex, that way we'll have those marks so we'll know what size to order, which flags to order, because I know we've got the POWMIA and also the Indiana flag.
So we have the facilities here in town and the highway garage. Do they put anything up at the park?
I would have to ask, but EMS, both locations there, I don't know if they have.
I've never had to order flags
Yeah.
for
Okay.
any building,
So-
so I don't know what buildings
So
have
would
flags and which ones don't.
would it make sense to send out an email just so anybody that
I can.
displays a flag, what size it is and what flag?
If they know.
If they know what size it is, and I'm assuming there's probably some Indiana state flags as well as American flags. I'm assuming, just send out an email and that way it'll save you running around trying to ask people. We'll just send an email out and give it a week or so, see what kind of response we get. and
Okay.
Kind of come up with some
Yeah,
numbers.
what they need is just their flagpole size.
Yeah.
Their height.
At least if we can figure out where they're all at, and then they don't know what size it is, maybe then we can go figure that out. At least we'll know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Ken.
I think
Anything else?
I think that's, Sugar, you have anything else to add on that?
You want
Benny?
to have him here for moral support?
Well,
Come on, kid.
She still hangs around this place all the time, don't she?
he has more history on, I haven't been around for as long as he has.
I know, it's a long time.
Here, I want to give you the stats on the, that comes into the county, if you want.
That is something to look at, though. If EMS don't have a flag, I think they should.
Yeah.
Are you staying out of trouble, Sugar?
Yeah, I
I haven't seen you in a while.
Pretty nice.
Think you can.
Hey, remember, you're being recorded, Sugo. Don't lie to us. Or maybe you should lie to us.
I like these two guys. I'm not sure about these two in the middle, or one there and that, but anyway, thank you guys for all you do. I know it's a hell of a job to do it and keep everybody happy, but we know how it all works and we appreciate it.
All right.
I'll see you.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, you know, another suggestion on the flag, it's the size of the pole, what size a flag is supposed to be. So you probably ought to tell them what size a 5 by 8 goes on and what size a 4 by 6. That's according to the
Right,
rules,
yeah.
you know that. People always say, can I do this or do that, but it's the height of the pole is what size flag you need.
Well, how about we just find out who all has flag poles, and then Ken can go to each facility to find out what
That's fine,
size
that's fine.
flag it actually needs.
That's fine.
In case they're not
That fine, that
ordering
okay with
the
you?
correct
Okay,
flag.
yep, we'll just find out where.
Is that okay?
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
That way, if they're not ordering the correct flag, then we can make sure it has the correct one on it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I just figured it'd be easier on the county if it was distributed out of one spot rather
Yeah,
than.
but I'll find out where all we have flag poles that are flying the flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for letting me serve. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ken.
I've just been doing some brief research here. Pulaski County apparently put a moratorium on of 7 months. Jefferson County last year put one on of 12 months, which is going to expire in September of this year. So they're probably working on updating that for battery. I found some stuff that I'll email to you later about the Indiana Office of Energy about siting and how the process works. I'll shoot you guys and the planning commission some stuff on that, but it looks like there may be a 1-year cap,
Okay,
1 year.
okay, because I know Mark said something about it's a 1-year thing or something, but he just
The
threw it
cap
at
is
me.
1 year, but I think
It
they
needs to get
they
done.
probably put that in just so things don't linger.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we have anything else?
If by chance the EMS doesn't have flagpoles, I think we need to address that, really.
I think yeah, I'd kind of like to see that list, Amy, whenever you get it, who all
I
has the
will,
poles.
I'll
and then-
CC you guys
Yeah, I
on it.
think all county buildings should have a flag.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep.
I think they do, but I don't know that for a fact, because I don't know who orders flags for them.
Yeah. And I was at both places, I didn't pay much attention to
Yeah.
that, but, okay. Otherwise, I do think that's it.
Till tonight.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made. I second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Y'all have a good day.
Be back tonight at 6.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go shuck sweet corn now.
Oh, sounds like fun.